Hi, lovelies. Today is the start of the Blue Storm Wavespell, and it's Thursday, the 18th of November, 2021. I'm excited. This is my Wavespell, and this is such an intense journey now. It's just so amazing and challenging, of course. So today we are here. And let's just turn that on. So we're on the 79th day. And up until now, I've not really focused on the individual numbers, but I've just connected to somebody, Matthew, so thank you. I'm going to hopefully chat more about how this aspect works. This is my 11th year of working with a calendar. And what I offer you is each one of us has our own gift, our own pattern, our own code, our own unique gift and purpose and way of working with being a conscious dreamer and the codes that we're bringing in now, why we're here now as a starseed. So just let it unfold. Don't be attached to the conditioned mindsets, the way that we have been educated, conditioned to believe by our society that we have to live. This is what's coming off now, big time, for most people. This is the conscious evolution time, the emotional healing time, the shift in remembering that it's the heart that creates the holograph that we're living in. And this has got to be the key focus. So today, set that intention. We have this very, very potent full moon energy coming up, and we're in the shadow of Venus going retrograde on the 19th of December. And the 19th of December is when we begin the next 52-day cycle, which is the most super intense. So actually, I'm going to bring this down so I can show you. Okay, so again, we're here, we're on the white, we're in the blue process. So remember, in each of these colours, these are a castle. We're in the white castle, we're building on refining what we learned in the first 52 days. Remember, this began back here on the 1st of September in Virgo energy. And so this is very much about understanding our mindset and what it manifests. And again, remember, when we get to completion, which is down here, by the time we get to here in May, we are going to be going into Taurus energy. So we're going to be seeing what is manifest. And that also ties in with the North Node going into Taurus, which is on January the 18th. So we've got a huge shift going on. We're going to see the manifestation there too, around what we've been working on in this 18-month period of Gemini and Sagittarius. And I'm going to do a separate video for the full moon, which is happening this evening and in the early hours of the morning of Friday, depending on where you are on the planet. There's so much going on with this. The full moon is going to be, it conjunct the North Node in Gemini at 1 degree. So this energy is very, very powerful and really showing us what's manifest now that we put into motion consciously or unconsciously back in May. If you set an intention at the new moon in Taurus, you're now seeing the manifestation of that, and you may be surprised about how that has unfolded. So we're going into a huge shift around what we're aligning with on a soul level, which again often can be a bolt out of the blue. The more that you start to really focus on letting the spirit come in through heart healing, the more that you will see, you know, you might have a 5-year plan. When I started doing EFT, manifesting groups, life groups with women over 10 years ago, before I came to Glastonbury, I had a 5-year plan. Glastonbury wasn't on it because I didn't know about Glastonbury then. My intention was to open my heart, trust, follow the process of my spirit, even though I didn't really know what that meant on a lot of levels back then. I just knew something huge was happening for me in 2007 when I started really focusing on retraining myself, adding to my psychology background and doing holistic therapies, energy healing, EFT, and body work, you know, just really Reiki, going into all those different subjects. And it was life-changing for me. So back then, I was offering workshops. I was starting to go to Glastonbury, the heart chakra and third eye chakra of the world. And again, I just trusted the process, even though to most people I was barking mad to just up sticks and go to Glastonbury. I didn't have a home, I didn't have a job. I just knew I had to be there. And soon after I got there, I started working with the Mayan calendar, which again was something I resisted. And so for those of you who know my story, who watch my videos, you've seen me go through hell and back in lots of ways. And of course, this is what we've all got to do to get clear of the shadow story. So by the time we get to December the 19th, we are going to be going here into the Blue Castle. Okay, so today we start 13 days of Blue Storm. So we're seeing how much in our center we are. The planet for Blue Storm is Pluto. Pluto's in Capricorn now at the later degrees. By the time we get into that North Node in Taurus next year, we've got big anniversaries coming up around the Civil War for America. So this is how it works with astrology and the Mayan calendar. The more that you start to work with your own cycles and the global cycles, the more that you know about history, you know that these things have to come in order for us to get clearer and clearer and refine them. And you can use all of these patterns and codes to start to really focus primarily on yourself to understand what your life mission is. Astrology will help you understand that. The Mayan calendar will give you super, super in-depth, very specific years, very specific codes and patterns that you can start to work with on a daily basis to drill down and go deeper and deeper in order to be the amazing gift that you came to be at this very challenging time. So by the time we finish this 13-day, we will go into another 13-day period, and that will end here. Okay, so then you can see we go into the blue. And once we go into the blue, this is transformation. Whenever we're in a blue cycle, like we are now, remember the first cycle is red, it's awakening. The second cycle is white, which is refining. The third is blue, which is transforming the red and the white. So you've had the awakening, you've had the refining, and now you're going to work around transforming that alchemically within. And again, I suggest using EFT because it absolutely works if you use it in the right way to clear your amygdala of your old ancestral patterns. And my goodness, are they coming up right now? Big time. So ideally, choose to be around people who are on the same wavelength with you about this, particularly if you are invested in a relationship. You need to be around conscious people. Otherwise, all the stories that are coming up are going to be even more challenging with people who aren't aware that they're simply projections of past ancestral storylines. Wherever you are, though, if you haven't yet checked out Emotional Freedom Technique, please do. emofree.com is Gary Craig's original website, and just learning this amazing tool will change your life. It's changed mine. I began mine back in 2007. As soon as I found this tool, I knew that whatever came my way, I was going to use that, use the triggers, use the shadow story to really get into my emotional center. And so this is what's coming up over the next 13 days. By the time we get to day 9, which is my sign, it's a clear sign. It's about getting clear of our triggers as much as we can so that we can start to live a different life. And this is the prophecy. This is what we're here for now. Any of my clients who are doing this process, they've done testimonials. This isn't about me, though. No, this isn't about what I can do for you. This is about what you can do for yourself. All we are doing is sharing a process that you can use yourself to get clear and be that planetary server that's going to revolutionize using all of this challenge now, this alchemy now, to create a different world for us, because life happens through us. It doesn't happen to us. And the more people that really understand this now and start doing these processes, using all of what appears to be the problem to alchemize our own personal journey and get us into a real place of sovereignty and strength. That's what this time is about. The Taurus and Scorpio is about the power struggle. So as the North Node is going to go there yourself now. You know what your struggles are. You know what your power issues are. You know what's coming up for you now. How can anyone not know now with everything that's happening on the planet? It's all there. Even if you may not know why, even if you may not understand any of it, if you want to know more about resources for this as well, please get in touch with me and I'll put a link underneath and I will send you information if you want to know more about a bigger picture story right now. So by the time we go into this next cycle, we're going to be going into, you can see all these black squares, and these are Akashic record. So when we start this in Red Serpent on the 19th of December, not only is Venus going retrograde, but we have all this Akashic record to work with. So our storylines are going to come up about our relationship, about our Kundalini. And then we will go right into the center of the Zolkin, which is White Mirror and Blue Monkey. And so again, we're going to be seeing what our holograph is being reflected back from our internal projection place, with projector, which is the heart. And so we'll be seeing that for 13 days. Then we go into Blue Monkey here. We're right in the spinal column. We're in the center. And how we are the divine child who's getting free of this conditioning mindset that our culture has imposed on us. And time for that to go so that we can start living a natural, healthy life in alignment, in truth with who we really are. And again, Scorpio time is really about that. So we've only got a short snapshot of time for that now, because we'll be going into Sagittarius energy soon. And so just make the most of these last days of Scorpio and this full moon energy. By the time we come out into yellow, the yellow thread, the manifestation. So again, we've got red awakening, white refining, blue transformation, and we see the manifestation. We're going to be going into another 10. So all the time we're going into the center and then we're coming out in these continuous 260-day cycles. So today I'm just going to go through the divinity codes with you. I've been so doing my journey over the past couple of 52-day cycles. I've had to focus completely on doing that and on myself. So I've not been putting a lot of energy out there on information. But if you want to know more about what's coming on the 19th of December and you want to register your place, please get in touch again with the link below. I will only be taking a very small group of very committed women who are ready to do this work. It takes a deep commitment to working with the shadow energy. So if you feel ready for that and you're ready to commit and you're ready to go into your darkness and your ancestral story in order to heal it, then that is the group of women that I'm looking for now. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the moon. So today we're going to the 79th Mayan sign, first of all. And if you add that number together, that's number 16. It's ready today. And so that's the warrior, the heart path. So here we're at Taurus, 20 degrees. And I'm just going to share the screen with you now. A fork in the road with a blank signpost, getting inside of things, discovering what they are like. When you have no idea any longer what you want out of things or where anything really is going, all the riches of subtle texture can only begin to arise now and to touch your soul. This journey has gone on forever, but now the deep earth calls you once again and you cannot refuse. All roads lead to the same place where it all flips over and you're tumbled to the inside where you meet yourself for the first time. This was not who you expected to see. The other self has lost everything, but has found its way to be here at last, on the inside of the world, ready for anything, no preferences, nothing to accomplish, nowhere really to go, just here in the fibre of existence and home free. So in terms of today, just putting that in. So again, I'm just going to share this screen with you so that you've got this resource as well. Okay, so we look at this information, and again, I've just shared this with my group. So if you're a woman and you want to be part of this group, please send me a message. It's called Red Dragon 52 on Facebook, and it's a group of women, again, who are working with these cycles and circles and information. We have a Mayan sign, and this is when we're born, and it comes around again when we're 52, when we become Mayan elders, and if we're lucky, again at 104. This changes every year because we go on our birthday, on a Gregorian birthday, because we go into a different dynamic, and that's on a 365-day process. So the Mayan is a 260-day process, and so each time we go into our birthday, we have a different sign, and we go through a 13-year cycle of that. And knowing this information is so empowering. At the same time, the 13 moon calendar stays the same in terms of when you were born, you also have a red moon sign. So if, for example, you are born now, if your birthday is around now, you're a moon number 5, which is red overtone moon. And basically that means when this cycle begins every year on the 26th of July, that's magnetic moon. And that lasts for 28 days. So if you're a Leo and your birthday is around then, or during that 28-day period, you're an initiator of authenticity and being the beacon of light, which is a planetary code. So each moon has 28 days. We have moon number 1 is initiation. Number 2 is the new learning, which is in Virgo. Number 3 is the alchemy, which is in Virgo and Libra. Number 4, self-existing, which we just completed, is in Scorpio energy. And now, still in Scorpio energy and shortly going into Sagittarius, we have moon 5. So by the time we get to moon 5, we're really, the overtone is about mastery of the previous 4. We're going to a whole different level. This also links in with Red Serpent, which is coming up on the 19th of December, and the next 52-day cycle. Big, deep stuff coming in now. As we go into Sagittarius Sun, this is Akashic record. This is our ancestral patterns. This is our old story. This is our old belief system. And so this is really key to understand on a personal level and really start working with if you aren't doing that already. The most important focus, in my understanding, is around healing your amygdala and then creating new belief systems from that healed space so that you can live a different narrative. Again, if you want to understand this more, please do get in touch with me. I'm now in a space where I'm starting to open up and be able to work with people on a one-to-one basis. So previously I've been closed for quite a long time because I'm doing my own process. Okay, so today we're on moon 5, day 4. Today, with this blue storm initiation, at the time of the full moon coming in, at the time of that being conjunct North Node in Gemini. We've also got Black Moon Lilith in Gemini as well, but I will talk about this in a separate video tomorrow. I'd rather just keep this focused around the beginning of Blue Storm. So in terms of, we've got the moon code, and remember red moon is really linked in to this because this is our emotional story. This is why it's so important to understand how we've been wounded, how all our ancestors have been wounded, how we're now coming to this huge end of day storyline that's been in the prophecy of all ancient people in all religions, all over the world, all different cultures. It's time for sovereignty for human beings and to let go of this imbalance of power. And the only way that we can really do that is to come into that place of integrity and sovereignty within us. And how we do that is, I believe, through my own personal process, is we heal. We let go of all our coping mechanisms that are no longer serving us. You can't go to the next level when you're still doing your coping mechanisms. And I know it's challenging right now because we're in survival mode at the moment. This is what Scorpio is all about. So to go to the next level of thriving, we have to evolve. People who are not doing this work now are not evolving, and that's the black and white of it. People who are accepting ways that aren't in truth that are harmful to human beings. This is what the whole journey around Venus and Capricorn is going to be. And remember, this calendar is about Venus. It's about the Venus cycle. This is what the Mayans built this calendar on. And it's about the maturation process of human beings. It's time to grow up and let go of being disempowered by people who are not healed, they're not loving, they're not in a light space, and are very well versed in how to control and manipulate people and how to be in a power position because of that. But the good news is, the script is, the time is for people to step through this gateway now and recognize how they are here to be that star seed and face these challenges. So again, in the video tomorrow, I'm going to talk more about that, around what's happening with this full moon energy and the Venus cycle, and how we can start to really work with that on a whole different level. So the cards today, the Mayan Oracle, love this card. And again, if you look at this card, there's so much going on there. So on what you can see, lots of different imagery there, whatever that calls to for you. Again, if you look at this in terms of a chart, you can see, as in astrology, you can see there's the cross where the midheaven is, and where the bottom of the stairway to heaven is. And again, so you can see how to come out of the childhood pattern and ascend up to midheaven where all the light is. This is noon. And then we also have the rising and the descendant as well. So what we're bringing in the light and the consciousness, and where we're letting go. This is where the dawn is. This is where the sunset is. So exciting. Okay, we're going on an adventurous quest. Remember, most people are living a very domesticated life. So if you think of the parable of Watership Down, you've got the domesticated rabbits who can't leave the hutch because they're too afraid to go outside and live the adventure. And the wild rabbits trying to encourage them to come out because they need those domesticated rabbits to breed. And so they're trying to encourage them to come and be their true nature. And only some of them can. And that's really what's going on the planet right now. Only some people can. And it is really letting go of that as well, because we each come to play a part. The more that you start to know about your cosmic codes, you'll see that it's all there. And the more that you learn about how to work with understanding that, the more you can empower yourself, the more you can remember who you really are and where you're going on this quest, and to be brave, to have courage. Don't start to live a lesser life. That's the key, because as we get older, our circles can get smaller. This is a way of making that circle become so light, so bright, so in tune, with great boundaries, with great strength, with not letting people come into your sacredness, your home, your personal sovereignty, your body, in a way that is not good for you. So we're all learning now what isn't good for us in order to know how, we've been doing that for thousands of years, in order to go forward into and back into remembering that time when this pattern wasn't there. But it's a necessary journey of maturation. Just as it is in this human being lifetime, we have to go through these different stages of maturation. Some people don't go through those gateways and they stay, even though they've got adult bodies, they're still very much in a childlike, childish behavioural stage. And so they can't access different ways of being and living because they're not consciously aware. And that's one of the key things, really. It is all about I and how have I learned to be in the world. Is that serving me? What patterns am I still running around my ancestors? And how to really work with that energy. So set that intention today. And remember that by the time we get to the new moon in Taurus, 6 months hence, you'll be in a very different space. The more that you're doing this work, this inner work, the more the outside will change. And this inner work primarily is around healing triggers. That's the key. The triggers show the emotional story that's still running, that isn't resolved. And so it's important to heal that. It's important to understand why this lesson is coming in now. What do I need to do differently? Why am I magnetically attracting that in? The universe is doing this with me. I am the universe. I am getting clear so that I can embody more of my higher self, my spirit, who is looking to guide me and is looking for me to listen, to heal, to respond, to receive as well. Very much to be able to receive information from source, which we can't do if we're still doing self-harm things, because everything that we put into ourselves is affecting our cells. It's affecting us on a cellular level. And with the storyline on planet Earth right now, there's some cellular changes going on that people aren't aware of, that are being orchestrated by other people. So the time has gone for not taking full responsibility for your own personal journey and what you put into your body and how you honour yourself and your sacredness as an expression, a direct manifestation of the divine, God and Goddess incarnate. This is what we've been dumbed down to forget over generation after generation after generation. And the good news is, learn these tools, set yourself free, do it every day, become trigger-free, live a different life. And believe that to be true. You're not dependent on what everybody else is doing. We're interdependent. But again, the focus on others first is a codependent pattern and is a coping mechanism and something that we have to evolve through now. So the cards today. So the first card is this one, which is Ruin. Number 10, Swords. What brings ruin? Ruinous thoughts. Okay, I'm not going to go into each one of these today, but I will post a link so that if you choose, you can research more. So again, remember the most important thing is you and how you feel good in the world, and healing anything, any experience in the past that has felt ruinous for you, that's created a mindset for you that creates a manifestation for you. That's the key focus in this 260-day cycle, is how do I change mindsets that are not serving me? Then we have the Death card, What is seeking to die? This is total Scorpio. What old ways are going now around your old story, your old narrative? And be disciplined, be very disciplined, Venus in Capricorn, around living this. I've been talking about this for several years now. Stop taking the poison. Stop living in an environment that's poisonous. Relationships that are poisonous poison our soul. Okay, and so the alternatives are initiate new mindsets, use the sword of truth, which was yesterday, white cosmic mirror. What needs to shift in your holograph? You know what's out there. Where does it come from in you? What's the source of it? Where did it begin in your childhood? In the 4th house, when you were growing up. And the manifestation. So again, we've got the 10 of discs is wealth. If you're in your sovereignty, you feel good about yourself. I mean, this is a hugely complex card. But check it out just on the links. If you are living a life of self-love, valuing yourself, putting yourself first. I know it's not easy in today's world and how we've been conditioned, but the more that you really start to go into this space, do what you love, do what you feel you're here to do. And again, the more that you know about your cosmic codes, the more depth you will experience of understanding that. You know what you don't love, you know what doesn't feel good. Part of you might feel that you have to do it, especially as a woman, but it's not true. The more that you heal these trigger point stories, narrative, let them die, the more you can be reborn from the inside out. And that's how we're all going to be planetary servers now. Just doing this inner work, believing in ourselves, coming more and more into our center. Less things will be able to take us out of that. This is a return to balance of the sacred feminine. It's an amazing time to be alive. We chose to be here at this time. All the men who are willing to become conscious now and be in relationship with women in a different way, healing their masculine and allowing themselves to reinvent who they are, not who they've been conditioned to be by society as well. This is a time for an amazing journey of relationship, and all the tools are there. So I wish you an amazing time of seeing where you are, where your center is, where it's not. And instead of seeing the problem as something to be feared, just it has all the answers. All the answers are there. The problem is the solution. And lots of love for you, to you all now, and I hope you have an amazing adventure over the next 13 days. Bye for now.